Heather, we are in the Mecca, inside Beauty Lab and Laser.
Yes.
Not the one Homeland Security was outside.
Hey guys, there's police and they have handcuffs out.
Homeland Security.
We're looking for Jen Shah.
This one has been untainted by any law enforcement yet.
No, okay, maybe let's not put that in the universe.
Sorry, you're right. But I've learned to not, count on anything.
Well, 5 seasons into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you lit the beaches of Bermuda on fire, end of season 4.
And the name that you all know her as is Reality Von Tease.
No.
What?
No.
How did that kind of affect your view of coming back to the show and doing this all again?
Well, Bermuda was a bombshell for all of us. And it had 2 effects. I mean, the first thing is that it really changed our relationships as friends. And we really bonded. And I'm getting chills just remembering. I mean, it was so powerful for us that I was it changed the way I felt about these women. And so to come back and film with them again with that kind of weight lifted and that bond in place I was excited. It reset everything. It kind of just took us back to center, and it reminded us how lucky we are to have each other, and the devil you know versus the devil you don't. And it was exciting. I was excited to come back and film.
Was there also a weight lifted knowing Monica was not back?
I mean, the Monica of it all really just played out in Bermuda, and so it felt like she's not my friend, and I don't really want to film with my friend, people that aren't my friends. So it wasn't really a factor.
What do you make of her pinpointing you and Lisa as the ones responsible for her not having a place in this group anymore?
I mean, it's flattering, for sure. But, I'm not the one in charge, obviously. And Monica and I didn't have a lot of drama until Bermuda.
Yeah.
She wasn't coming for me. So, I didn't have that much skin in the game.
Is there ever a world where you would welcome Monica back into your circle?
I mean, she's not my friend, and I've got enough friends to deal with right now.
Yes. Which betrayal would you say taught you more, Monica or Jen?
Oh, definitely. Oh, actually, that's actually hard. I was gonna say definitely Monica, because we did it together. It didn't feel so individual. It felt more like she unified us. So that taught me a lot about my relationship to these women. So I'd have to say Monica.
You do step into this season with that bond, but there's still the crack between you and Whitney.
I have never lied.
I love Whitney, but this is what drives me crazy. She spins the truth so it fits her own narrative where she can do no wrong.
She believes that what happened at the Bezos party was a pile-on, some premeditated plan that you and Meredith and Lisa got together to be we're gonna air all of our grievances at once and lay them all out there. Was there a conversation ahead of time of, let's get Whitney, essentially?
No. First of all, we wouldn't have that conversation, let's get Whitney. And, I'm always on Whitney's side. So it's, even when I have grievances with her, it's just inconvenient when they happen to be exactly the same grievances that Lisa and Meredith have. It was just 3 friends with the same experience, trying to get through to her because we love her and we want to stay friends.
That was a f***ing lie, which makes you a liar.
She is adamant that she is not a liar. Is it a game of semantics where because she's repeating untruths that didn't originate with her, she can get around it?
Listen, I mean, we're all liars. No one has ever gone through life unscathed without telling a lie. So it's just a preposterous thing to say, and I think that's why we all picked at it.
We're headed towards sworn enemy territory.
Never in a million years after everything we've been through did I think that you would reach out to our sworn enemy.
I sought out proof and was given the proof.
Who did Whitney reach out to? She says she has not been in contact with Monica since the reunion. So that implies it's maybe Jen.
Well, funny enough, we have a lot of sworn enemies in this group. So it's something you just have to stay tuned.
Okay, Whitney says she doesn't count anybody as an enemy in life, though.
That's because she's on a healing journey. I am not there. I classify them as enemies.
All right, you're not gonna give away who it is, but What level of a breach of trust is it that she sought out this person to seemingly get receipts about something?
I mean, Whitney and I are in a great place right now, so that should dictate the level of breach.
Okay, maybe hit you hard in the moment, but didn't have a lasting impact.
Recoverable, definitely recoverable.
Someone you've done a 180 on from when we first met this group is Lisa Barlow. But now people have flipped on you and said you're almost Lisa's soldier. Like you will yes and whatever she says. What are they missing in what your friendship with Lisa is?
I don't think I'm a yes and friend, but actually I do think I'm a yes and friend, but I am for all of my friends. And I think what happened with Lisa and I was a long time coming. You know, we really haven't hated each other like we did in season 1.
Thumbs up. There we go. Thumbs up. You. Everything you do is out of love and kindness.
You know, we've had years of growth and understanding, and, you know, I love Lisa, and I have done a 180, and I am happy to support her, and if people criticize me for it, you know, it's not out of just blind loyalty, it's out of genuine, you know.
You seem to have embraced what I'm going to call radical honesty this season. Because anytime somebody says something to you about any of your friends, you're not thinking twice about going back to that friend and be like, hey, this conversation's happening about you. Do you regret that approach at all?
I think I'm just always trying to walk that line. I want to be a good friend to the people that confide in me, and I want to be a good friend to who they're confiding about. And, you know, it's messy, but I'm working it out.
Did that change any of your friendships this season, that approach?
Not yet.
Okay. We got episodes to watch, so you might retroactively have some changes.
You never know.
Mary takes some issue with it, especially with you kind of discussing things maybe Angie said about Lisa. How are you feeling about Mary 2.0?
I mean, I am loving Mary 2.0 because she's communicative, she's present, she is involved, and like, even though her opinions differ from mine and we butt heads, we're at a place where we can talk about it, and that we haven't been there before. And I just feel close to her, I feel like I can trust her, and I know that I'm gonna have missteps, and I know that she will let me know when I do, and that's okay.
You're pretty and thin. You're thin.
I finally cracked the code. I lost 25 pounds, and now Mary Cosby loves me.
Do you take her going thin as a compliment? Is that like as a high accolade from Mary?
Yeah,
it's not
considering where I've come from with Mary, you know, she's just unfiltered. And so what you hear from her mouth is genuine. And so of course, it's always nice to hear positive things that are genuine.
We've got quite a bit of fresh blood in the mix this season. You and Bronwyn did not start off on the best foot, partially because of this radical honesty with others.
You came at me real hard and real strong. We need to get correct about a couple things about how we're gonna have a friendship. Correct.
I mean, I wasn't upset that Bronwyn was talking crap. I mean, that's clearly what we were doing. But what was weird to me is that she had the same conversation with Whitney with a completely different reaction. So that to me was what I took issue with. Like, I heard you, and it was clear to me that you didn't want to be Whitney's friend. Whitney heard you, and she thought that you adored her. So something's going on in your delivery, and you're criticizing Brittany for her words and actions not aligning, and yours aren't to me either.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, it's just so trite. I can't.
This is the type of energy that's burned me in the past. And I feel very wary of someone who has such strong, harsh opinions about people that they're just meeting for the first time.
Where does your relationship with Bronwyn go? Does it ever turn into a friendship?
Yeah, you know, absolutely. Like, Bronwyn is part of the mix, and I consider her, you know, like, you know, I'm obviously not as close to Bronwyn and don't have as much investment in Bronwyn as I do the other ladies, but we're definitely friends. I would consider her a friend.
Okay. Could you get to that place with her, do you think?
In 5 years. It takes a long time to grow an old friend. And that's part of what kind of is special, I think, about Salt Lake City, is because we have been together from the beginning. And we know each other. And so there's a lot of love there, and there's a lot of hurt there, and there's a lot of drama there.
You bring Britani into this group. She didn't step off on the wrong foot with just anybody. She kind of struggled to find her footing at all.
I want you to be happy for me.
I'm just trying to figure out, why do we care?
Mary, rude.
Why do you think it was such a rough entry for her?
Because we're a tough group, you know, and Britney came in unprepared, you know, and I think she was just kind of earnest and naive, and that's shown.
Yeah, it was almost like, oh, she's so excited to be here, she can't get her thoughts straight.
And she was being so open and vulnerable in a situation that, you know, people weren't used to that.
It is a little tough to watch her, and I'll put this in quotes, relationship with Jared Osmond play out.
I just wanted to see her face. She's obsessed with this guy. Oh, look, they're right there. They're FaceTiming. My brow girl, who is like the best brow girl in Salt Lake, is telling me that she's like flirting with him in the DMs. Right here, he's saying they're not together.
I love that.
And then he's trying to call her. That's just weird.
I'll call you later.
What was it like to live that and be there in the moments everything was unfolding?
I mean, I had whiplash, and I couldn't keep it straight. Like I felt like I had to do a check-in every morning, like, are we in or are we out? Yeah, it was just a lot of up and down, really tumultuous.
I thought the conversation and your commentary in the pickleball scene, like 5 years in, we're still learning all these things about the lives you all lived before and kind of your worldview.
The celestial law is clear as day. You can get into heaven without children, but not without a husband. And so Mormonism creates women that prize the romantic relationship above everything else.
I thought and you've introduced another phrase to me of celestial law. Now we have outer darkness, celestial law. What lessons do you think we still have to learn about how you all grew up?
I mean, I think what we learn a lot this season is kind of how the patriarchy has shaped all of our experiences and our marriages and our loyalty to the men in our lives and the way that we view, you know, women's roles.
You've, I think, done probably a 180 on what you thought a woman should be and what you now know a woman should be. What does it mean to mark your own growth?
I mean, it's crazy for me because probably 8 years ago, I thought feminist was a bad word. And I pretended to be like, I had 3 daughters who I was championing, you know, and wanting them to do everything that a boy could do, but I still was raising my daughters to be wives and mothers. And that's not a bad thing, but that's just a very, you know, one-sided view of what they could become. And now I feel like a feminist. I see myself talking to Britney and I'm like, where is this girl power coming from? And I think it's come from my relationships, you know, and being financially independent and just having all these experiences. It's transformed me.
I really don't know what that's about. Patriarchy.
It does seem like a big source of drama this year is going to be this allegation that she maybe secretly records her friends.
I don't want you around me. You record your friends. You are vile.
Did bringing her into this circle change at all how you feel about Britney, or did you learn things about her that you didn't know?
Yeah, I learned a lot about Britney that I didn't know, bringing her in just through, you know, traveling with her and spending so much time with her. But I think at the core, Britney is not malicious and not mean, and that changes the way we react to a lot of the missteps that she may have taken.
What motivations would somebody have, though, for secretly recording other people?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't secretly record people.
You just watch it.
I just have experience with people that do. Apparently, I attract them.
I don't think she has a recording device in here.
How do you know?
Well, I've watched a lot of television.
We've also watched you open up about the physical change you've gone through kind of in the last year, which sparked this whole conversation around is body positivity a lie?
Right.
And you coming out and kind of being like, I've lived both sides and I can tell you this is the truth.
Like, I've sold out. I've given up the banner of, you know, relatable, accept yourself, love yourself. And it's disappointing to sad to know that body positivity was all a big lie, because it's better to not be overweight.
What was the reaction to that conversation you had with Nightline?
But I mean, it felt like a little bit of clickbait because body positivity has changed my life. You know, body positivity made it possible for me to be on television, for me to have the confidence to just show up and be much bigger than all of my, you know, friends. And like, I relate a lot to Emily on OC, you know, when it's not that I feel ashamed or like less confident, but it's just the reality of it. And, you know, losing weight has certainly like changed like my pant size, but it didn't change much on my inside, you know, but it changed the way people treated me and people were nicer to me. And that made me feel sad, you know, because I have daughters and I, you know, don't know that I'll always be able to maintain this weight, you know, and I would hope that people still see me for me and not just for the physical.
I think what people have always connected with you about as a viewer is you've been so open about your self-esteem journey and the roller coaster that it can take. Where are we at these days? How do you feel about Heather Gay?
You know, I'm still working on self-esteem, but as far as like happiness, I feel like I broke the glass ceiling, like shattered the Willy Wonka, you know, glass elevator of joy and happiness. Like I really didn't think my life could ever be this good and that I could be this happy and that I could have this much joy with my children and my business and my friendships. And that's like a great feeling. It's also a little scary, you know, because there's a lot more to lose now.
Yeah, it's like if you're up here, everything that goes up must come down.
I know.
Waiting.
Don't manifest that.
Yeah, no. We don't want no FBI raids.
No FBI and no
and
joy.
No joy
Yeah,
drop.
Yes.
But are you at a place where you feel like you could welcome love into your life? I know you said we're probably not going to see much on it this season. Did you take a break from exploring that? Where are you at on the love life?
I mean, I just like stopped exploring it altogether. Partly because my life was consumed with other things, and I think that that's probably like the natural next step, and that's terrifying too.
What do you want to claim for yourself when you're ready to face it?
Just the possibility to believe in the fairy tale again, because I think it was shattered for me, and so I just believed it didn't exist, and that just made it easier for me to kind of cope. But having so many other big changes in my life, it makes me feel like, you know, maybe I'll be in a place where I can open myself up to that possibility.
Do you want to get married again?
No.
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 Never.
Unless
Nothing
he's
would
really
change?
cute.
Okay.
I'm just
You have another book on the way, Good Time Girl.
Thank you, Lisa Barlow.
Yes, she's getting 10%.
She's named both books, so she does not get a cut, but she's in the acknowledgments.
What was the story you wanted to tell after laying so much out in Bad Mormon? What was next?
I mean, Bad Mormon was such a therapeutic, you know, cathartic thing for me to write, but it really only scratched the surface. And I had so much more that I wanted to say but also more than that, every year I'm a little bit different and a little bit less the Mormon I was. And like, I just like writing about that experience. So in Good Time Girl, I get to explore like a lot of the fun I've had and a lot of like the things about my childhood that go where Bad Mormon was afraid to.
I keep seeing this comment resurfacing of your sister who we watched you reconnect with in Vail. As like, Heather's not who you think she is. What do you make of that conversation that plays out online?
I mean, there's no secret that I'm totally estranged from my family. You know, this was a big thing for me to go on the show and to write the book. And, you know, they have very, very strong feelings about it, and it's hurtful. But it doesn't stop me from, you know, living my life. And I'm not gonna go back, and I'm not gonna apologize.
Can only control yourself, not other
Yeah.
people. Is Whitney getting an advanced proof of Good Time Girl to give notes on?
Unfortunately, and I hope this doesn't affect sales, but Whitney's vagina is not in the book at all. But there is an entire chapter dedicated to Angie Katzenavas.
Wow.
And a chapter dedicated to Lisa Barlow and the whole story of how Good Time Girl came to be.
Okay. Whitney and Angie have both said the season 5 finale rivals that of season 4. Which I'm like, how do we top?
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots. everything.
Do you agree with them that this season ends on the same big blow-up note as season 4?
Well, as it is with most of our finale dinners, it's all a fog because it was so intense. But there's something different about it. But yeah, definitely it rivals it. And it's in a different way. Nothing could ever top the true crime tale that was Reality Von Tease. And I think we all felt, you know, the strength of that moment and the craziness of it. And this finale is just a little bit, you know, it's different.
Okay, not friendship group shaking.
No, there's no big reveal.
Other than that finale, is there anything that you're dreading happening or having to relive and talk about?
I don't like it when I hurt my friends, you know, and inevitably you do. And so I'm just dreading, you know, I was in such a place of like gratitude. Like I just hope that my friends know how much I still love them, you know.
Do you want to just give like a blanket apology
I
to
love
camera?
you all desperately. Sometimes I try to be funny and it doesn't land, and it's not personal.
Just say all their names and we can slice whoever.
Whitney, Lisa, Meredith, Bronwyn, Maylee, Brittany, Angie.
On the flip side, is there anything that you're especially excited about that we're going to get to see?
Oh my gosh, we have so much fun. We have so much fun in Puerto Vallarta. We have so much fun on our trips. We have so much fun at our parties, and the fashion is great. The scenery is spectacular, I'm sure.
Parties are fun until cybersecurity and the FBI get called.
True. And that happens at almost all of our parties, so.
About 4 weeks away, people will see what we're talking about.
Why did I get emotional at the end?
Because these women mean something to you,
I
and
love
also I think
them.
have helped you walk into this life you've built.
Totally.
Like you probably, as much as you did it on your own.
No, I couldn't. I mean, I did it, like they rescued me.
These are your sisters.
Yeah, fully.
For better or worse.
We're a sisterhood, absolutely.
There we go.
Salt Lake City, man. There's nothing like it.